Morning class. A couple of weeks back we talked about inferences. We're going to be talking about some inferences again today. I found this little paragraph to help us understand a little bit more about inferences. The question is, what is an inference? And this is what they've written as their answer. An inference is a guess you make after thinking about what you already know. Suppose you're going to see a movie. From what you know about movies, you might infer that you will wait in a line to buy a ticket, and you will watch the movie on a large screen in a dark theater. So, in other words, when you make an inference, you're thinking about experiences you've already had. And any of us that have gone to a movie normally have to wait in a line to buy a ticket. And then we enter a big room where they turn out all the lights. There's a great big large screen in the front. So as you can see, that's the inference that was made here. Okay? So, here's something more to understand about inference. An author does not write every detail in a story. If every detail were told, stories would be long and boring, and the main point would be lost. Suppose you read, Jane rode her bike to the park. The writer does not have to tell you what a park is. You already know. That is a place where people go to have fun outdoors. From what you know, you might guess that people who go to the park can play ball, they could go swimming, or play on the swings. By filling in these missing details, you could infer that Jane went to the park to meet friends or to play a ball game. You can infer the missing details from what you know. Okay? So a lot of times when we infer things, we talk about things we already know. Now, I'm going to give you a couple examples, and we're going to do some practicing with inferring. Okay, so here's what we're going to practice with. I'm going to read a couple of these with you, and work out the inference, and then I'm going to give you a chance to get a little practice with this. Okay, so this is inference practice, and the question is, where am I? Here's the instructions. Read each passage below, write where you think the passage is happening, and explain your answer. So in order for me to get this right, I have to read this, I have to think in my own mind what it's inferring to. So I need to find out where the passage is happening, and then I need to explain my answer. So I can't just put a one-word answer, can I? If I'm going to explain it, I'm going to have to use a lot of words. And remember, like we've been learning this week, is when we write an answer, we use the wrap method. You restate the question. This shows you understand what you're being asked. Then you answer your question, share your opinion or knowledge of the topic, and P is prove you are right, include 2 or more details from the passage. Okay, so I've got to remember to wrap while I'm doing these answers. So here's the very first one. As I walk in the door, I was amazed at the beautiful colors and smells. I knew it would be hard to decide what I would buy with my $3. The chocolate truffles looked delicious, but they were expensive. The jelly beans were not only cheaper, but so colorful. So much to choose from. I knew I would be here a long time. So the question is, write where you think the passage is happening and explain your answer. Okay, so as I look at this and I walk inside of a door, I see beautiful colors and I have some wonderful smells. And then they start talking about chocolate, truffles, and they talk about jelly beans. Those are both a kind of a candy. So I'm thinking he just walked into a candy store. Now, is it okay for me to just write candy store? Isn't that where, that's where I believe he is. But notice Right where you think where it's happening, and explain your answer. And did I use my wrap? Did I restate the question in my answer? No, I can't just write candy store. So I'm going to say, I believe that this person walked into a candy store because, and then now this is where I'm going to use details from the thing, because of the beautiful colors and smells, and smells, and the chocolate, oh my goodness, I made a mess of that. And jelly, oops, now this bad answer got in my way here. Jelly beans. Okay, so now, does it restate my question? Yeah. Where do you think the passage is happening? I believe this person walked into a candy store because of the beautiful colors and the smells and the chocolate and the jelly beans. Okay, so I'll do one more, and then I'll let you have a practice. The water felt so good on such a hot day. I heard the other children laughing and yelling across the way. The concrete was wet from a group of teenagers splashing each other in the corner. The lifeguard watched closely to keep children from running. So based on my experience, I think he's explaining a swimming pool, because there's lots of people there laughing. There's concrete. So concrete is cement, and it's wet from people splashing on it. And there's a lifeguard there, so I think he's at a swimming pool. It's not okay for me just to write swimming pool. So I'm going to put, based on my experience, I think this person is at a swimming pool. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to put a comma here and say because of the lifeguard and the concrete, and it also talked about other children and lots of children. Okay, so in my answer, I'm telling you where I think this passage is being taken place. Based on my experience, I think the person is at a swimming pool because of the lifeguard and the concrete and lots of children. When I've gone swimming, I see lots of children. I usually see a lifeguard or two or three or four sometimes, and the concrete helps keep the water together. So that's how I'd write my answer. Okay, now I'm going to give you a chance to practice. I want you to write the answer to this. I was allowed to push the cart. The left front wheel was broken, so the cart wobbled down each aisle. Mother put various packages and boxes in the cart, but I didn't notice. I was trying to keep the cart going straight as it got heavier and heavier. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second pause. You need to write where you think this person is at, and make sure you write in your passage what you think. So you're going to answer the question in your answer. Let's see what you come up with. Okay, hopefully you've taken time to pause this and then answered the question in your own mind. And here's the answer that I came up with. I think this person is in a grocery store because he is pushing a cart up and down aisles. His mother keeps putting things in the cart, and the cart has a wobbly wheel. Those are all things that I've experienced in the grocery store, and I have to chuckle because the last time I went shopping in the grocery store, which was just on last Friday, I think I had the noisiest cart in the whole place. The wheel was wobbling and squeaking, and I think grocery stores like to have wobbly, squeaky wheels. Okay, so hopefully you were able to get that answer, and we've had some practice in doing some inferring just based on our life experience and what we think, what place we thought.